Hi, Empress Justice here, and this is what I have learned about Sag, okay? Sage. Now, to begin with, Sagittarians are known as the arms around the world, jovial sign, who are really loud and who can't be tamed, okay? But there is so much more to a Sag than that, and I'm going to explain why. First off, the blessings that are bestowed onto a Sagittarius involve sacredness and the truth, and also really heavy understanding. Now, Sagis come into the world with an innate understanding that they cannot verbalize. It's for this reason why a lot of Sagittarians are wise but blunt. They have the wisdom, but they don't always have the means to be able to express what they know. And this goes back to childhood, where they can observe and perceive a lot of different things that people try to hide, but they don't have the words to describe what they're looking at. So, to be a Sagittarius in this world is to carry more knowledge than you're able to express. But this is, for the record, is where a lot of Sagittarian wisdom comes from. And it's also where their honesty comes from, okay? And you have grown up being able to perceive everything around you that other people try to hide. You become really, really honest when you're a kid, even saying things that you really shouldn't say, okay? But you don't really know that because your brain's still formulating, and you have not the tragedy, but the kind of paradox of a brain that's still developing, but that is still able to perceive things even people 3 times your age can't perceive yet. So there's you wanting to express yourself as a kid, but you end up expressing things that you shouldn't express because not every truth is supposed to be known in wider society. So not every Sag has trouble fitting in because of this. In fact, a lot of Saggies can be quite popular, truth be told, especially early on, because people find that kind of candor and wisdom from a child to be quite cute, to be quite adorable. So even if a Sagittarian is not necessarily liked among their peers, they can find themselves being liked among adults. So Sagittarians are blessed with a wisdom and understanding that is quite often far beyond their years. And they kind of grow up with a sort of real understanding of what really means something. Because Sagittarians have had to deal with disappointments in their life early on, because the truth can bring disappointments. It can bring you into situations where you have to face the reality of things before you're ready. So Sagittarius has always also been subject to disappointments in life. A lot of people think that Sagittarians haven't had to face disappointment. From an early age, Sagittarians have had to face disappointment in their lives, which means that they've really had to, from an early age, ascertain what is truly sacred to them, what truly means something to them. So although Sagittarians can have trouble fitting in because, again, the perception of truth, unlike illusions, the truth is a separator. The truth is something that separates things. So Sagittarians didn't have that great skill of fitting in, but they were genuinely liked for who they were. The likelihood is that a Sagittarian, especially as a child, was liked for who they were when they're children. When they're adults, however, this is where their insecurities come in, because it's when they're adults they start to understand properly how society actually works, how social dynamics work. And they start to understand real quickly that social dynamics are colored by illusion rather than truth. So Sagittarians can feel very insecure about how loved they are and about how genuine the world is. So a lot of Sagittarians can go from experiencing being loved and, being the delight of everyone to being everybody's annoyance, because of how honest they really are and because of how much, they see through the world. Like, as an adult, it's not cute anymore. As an adult, that gets you ostracized. But there's also something else. Sagittarians don't like lies. And it's not because Sagittarians don't lie. That's not what it is. It's because it's like they can't really get away with lying or telling the truth because they annoy everybody by telling the truth and by perceiving the truth. So it's like Sagittarians can't get away with anything. They can't get away with telling the truth or telling a lie. So when they see people lying and getting away with it, it really aggravates a Sagittarian. But again, it's not about morality. It's about, why do they get to lie and tell non-truths and be loved for it? And yet it doesn't matter whether I tell the truth or whether I lie. I can't get away with anything. So noticing that will make a Sagittarian do something that is less favorable, that is not so good. This is a really dark trait about Sagittarians, right? Sagittarians will weaponize the truth. If they can't lie outright, and a lot of them can't because a lot of them can't get away with that. If a Sagittarian can't lie outright, they will use the truth as a weapon for something else. If they have an objective that they're trying to reach, or they're trying to, if Sagittarians have a particular objective that they're striving for, they will quite often weaponize the truth against other people or even against themselves to achieve their objectives. And somebody who knows how to do that is a lot more difficult to get around than somebody who uses lies outright to get what they want, or uses rumors outright to get what they want. So Sagittarius can start off on the back foot here, but as an adult, they can be very, very skilled at using, like Tyrion Lannister said, using honest emotions to do dishonest works. Because like all fire signs, Sagittarius operates in a liminal space where opposites are working together rather than working against each other. So Sagittarians will use the truth to get what they want. Well, they will weaponize the truth to do that. And that can make a Sagittarius incredibly dangerous at times. It's actually worse than a Sagittarius outright lying, because you can't catch a Sagittarius out in the act when they're using the truth, not only to clear the air and, and build bridges, but they're also using it to get what they want. It's very difficult to win against somebody like that. That's what makes Sagittarius so formidable, and that's why certain people can have a problem with them. It's not because Sagittarians are more evil than anyone else. It's just that the truth is both a sedative and a knife for a Sag. It's a strategy, it's a tactic, as well as a way of life for them. But again, yes, Sagittarians are very wise people. They are very truthful people. They can understand a lot of what the world is operating on. But again, the only way that they can really get around life is to tell the truth and be blunt, because they don't really necessarily know how to condense all that wisdom and put it and communicate it in ways that actually brings people together, or allows people to be themselves, or allows people to feel comforted in being themselves. So yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. Being a Sagittarius is tricky, but Sagittarians are remarkably smart. Don't let the loudness fool you. Don't let the bluntness fool you. Just because they don't know how to communicate the truth, it doesn't necessarily mean they don't know the truth. And the fact that people don't listen to them because they can be so blunt and because they can take forever to get to the point, it doesn't mean Sagittarius doesn't have an advantage. It actually means the opposite. So that was everything that I know about Sagittarius. I am Empress Justice, and I will see you in the next reading. Peace and blessings. Bye bye, my darlings.